I read an essay from the section of prejudice, which is a topic that I find very interesting because I think we live in a society full of it. I also think that most of us, at least once a day, we commit prejudice unintentionally or maybe even intentionally. Maybe with the guy who is asking for money on the traffic light, or with someone in our school, or even with a friend or family member. The name of the essay I chose is A Priceless Lesson in Humility and is written by Felipe Morales. The link of the video will appear in just 1 second on the screen. In his short essay, Felipe talks about how in a second we can be prejudicial and probably having no intentions of doing it. He exemplifies it with a specific event that happened to him. He went to Washington, D.C. for vacations, and while he was outside the Ronald Reagan Center, an elderly blind woman with his hand extended said to him, "Can you help me?" And as a natural reflex, he pulled out all of his loose change and gave it to the woman. She then smiled to him and said, I don't want your money. I just need help finding the post office. This might seem not to be a relevant event, but it made Felipe realize how we often are prejudicial without even noticing it. After this event happened to him, he realized he had forgotten the man who he used to be, not so many years ago. He was an immigrant from Honduras who worked as a dishwasher and a pizza delivery driver for many years. Fathers even use him as an example to tell their children that if they didn't study, they will end up just like him. Things went good for him later on, and he studied and became a network engineer. He went from having a low-class lifestyle to having a middle-class lifestyle. I think the most important message of this essay is to make people aware of prejudice, of how we sometimes act prejudicial in some situations, and because we are in a better position than we used to be, we forget that we used to be in that same person's situation. Many times in his life, Felipe had experienced many acts of prejudice, but because now he is in a better situation than he used to be, he forgot who he used to be. And it happens very, very often. People who used to be the ones affected by prejudice later will become the ones who are prejudicial. And that is what Felipe's message is about. He wants people to know that they shouldn't be prejudicial because we all have been in situations in where we are the ones being prejudiced. I agree with his message because I think we should always remember our background no matter how good or bad it seems to be, because it makes us the person we are now. I also agree with Felipe because I think that everyone has been affected by prejudice, and because of that, we should judge less.